How's it going, guys? It's Brian again with some Alone with You, a sci-fi romance adventure. I bought this game in a bundle with the previous game that I made a stream of not too long ago called Home, also made by Benjamin Rivers. Um, both the games were actually like fairly cheap. I think I paid like under $10 for both of them, which wasn't too bad. I mean, Home was a pretty decent adventure game. At least a lot of mystery behind it, and this one also seemed a bit intriguing too. So with that, let's delve right into this. It's probably a lot of music going on, but I tend to stay on the safe side. And just I don't want to deal with content IDs and all that stuff. Oh, this is much different than oh, it definitely feels a lot different than Home did. Turn to colony A, yes. But I do love the visuals. I love the old 2D style type of type of games. It's a little bit more creative than like the always ultra realistic graphics. Oh, I need to change the setting real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see here. I need where in the heck? Dang it. I'm sorry about this. There you go. I need to just switch it to where I hear more party so that the music doesn't drown out my ears. And okay, so where are we? So what are we doing? I guess I can only go up to the command hallway. Anything else I can interact with? Let's see. To the hollow sim chamber accessible. I guess I'd just go into the main hallway. Naturally progress the story. AI core. Ship hangar inaccessible. Inaccessible, okay. Seems simple enough. Sync mission data with AI core. Interesting. I'm glad you made it back. I assume you were at your usual lookout over the rift again. You must have seen the worsening situation out there. Did you notice the planet's instability on your way here? I noticed. Then you can appreciate what a pickle we're both in. I wish I had better news, but I feel I owe it to you to be honest. The situation is unfortunately quite dire. This Hudson Cartier terraforming project has failed. 16 years of work has been undone. I apologize for being so direct, but would it shock you to know that, by my estimates, we have less than a month to survive? Damn. Well, that makes sense. Perhaps your astute, I'm not sure how to say that word, astuteness is why you alone have survived. The next 3 weeks are critical, as Epsilon Erdani B continues to decline. We still have an escape ship here in Colony A. It is structurally sound, and I believe I can help you fly it so we can escape. If we can transmit an emergency signal to the Home Office, we can likely intercept a company vessel in our ship and gain transport back home. The problem is, there are 4 key systems on the escape pod that I can't repair, and you aren't trained to deal with by yourself. But I have an idea. It will require the use of our hollow sim chamber and a little bit of human connection on your end. You see, there were 4 other colonists who could have saved us if they were still alive. Winnie Laurier was our communication expert, and she could have helped us repair the navigation systems. Perry Tung was the colony director and an engineer genius. He would have been able to assist us with the thrusters. Leslie something ran the Argo domes, and I'm sure she could have helped us maximize the ship's life support and food processing. And Jean Lumumba led the resource management teams. He could have shown us how to best keep the ship powered and stable. You and I can head out to find materials and information, but only these 4 could have guided us in fixing the ship. But if we can use the hollow sim chamber to recreate these 4 key colleagues, they can still help us in a way. I know it's a long shot, and it's going to be a little unusual, but if we work together, I think we can make it. So that's the plan. Before you go to your quarters, though, let's register your name so the hologram knows what to call you. This seems interesting. It seems like it's going to have like a multiple ending, multiple scenarios, such as in Home. I'm looking forward to this. I always love a good story in games. Okay. The engineer, okay, yeah. Yes, my name's correct. Oh, wait, no, shit. God damn it, Damn it, I put the wrong button. Ah, dang it. Yes. Excellent. I'm glad we got that straightened out. For now, just head to your quarters and rest. You'll need it for tomorrow. See, I love these graphics. These are actually pretty nice. What is it? Is it gonna be this way? Yeah, cruise quarters. Is that mine right there? So your private quarters. Yep. What do I do? Rest for a while. Oh, I guess I have no choice. I love the animation. God. I'm sure the music's great too. I'm just, again, like I said, for content ID purposes, copyright and all that, kind of want to avoid doing that. Get into that kind of mess. Good. I know you've just woken up, but as we discussed, time is of the essence. How are you functioning today? Are you well? I suppose I am. I don't see why I wouldn't be. That's good. Your task will be easier if you're well rested. Please come see me in the core at your earliest convenience. Okay, now I can interact with a bit more stuff. Now, just using my knowledge of Home, the game, I understand that like if you miss some things, you can probably get not the best possible ending, or at least you might leave us like if you leave a stone unturned, you miss some key elements in the story. So I'm gonna try to interact with as much as I can. Get that best possible ending. You've left an empty photo frame, a rag, and some non-functioning equipment there. Look at your terminal. Same kind of standard terminal as you'll find around the colony. We can't spare the power cycles for its use at this time, I'm afraid. The shelf is full of titles on a variety of topics, including sociology, terraforming, and engineering. I'll never understand why people prefer physical books to their digital counterparts. Oh, physical books are way better. Way better. So I do not understand how people can use a Kindle and all that just to read a book. My eyes would fucking hurt just looking at that thing. There's maintenance notes that says at YOSP and a Wade game on it. It also says Mr. Yoshida favorite dog. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that means. That's probably some kind of developer notes or something. It's just head north to the core and we can discuss your mission for the day. Okay. Okay, Brian. Last night I scanned what's left of the colonies in hopes to find materials you can salvage. I think I found a few good leads. I think it would be best if you first go to the comms relay and find 5 communication devices we can use for the escape ship. Comms relay is where Winnie Lowry was last known to be. Hopefully you can find out some more information on her on your trip as well. When you're ready, you can go south to the shuttle bay and plot a course there. Okay. Wait, so do I have to go to her room? Oh, no, not go to her room. Go to, I guess she was in an off-base location or something? Something to that manner. Okay. Use the shuttle. Comms relay station. Okay. Well, this is pretty crazy. A little bit of somewhat of an open world. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't know what's the trend of it. All these games having open worlds nowadays. It's one of them things where I'm just it's probably been a long time since you've been to the comms relay. I don't believe you had occasion to come here often, if at all. With the other colonists separated, this was considered a prime location, but only one person really had the expertise to make good use of it. Remember, you're looking for components we can use to power the escape ship's communications. 5 good parts should do it. And then also research as much on old Lori or Winnie, whatever you say her name, as possible. Oh boy, even from here I can sense how damp and musty it is in there. It probably smells to you like an old puddle. What's that? Or 2. Field notebook. This looks like a standard issued field notebook. Most of the colonists use these as well as data pads. Notebooks are inexpensive and easy to transport, and studies revealed that humans enjoyed physically writing on paper. It seems rather inefficient, but I suppose tactically it is important in informing emotional impact for memories. Speaking of which, this looks like, it looks like the beginning of some sort of fiction. That's interesting. It reads, last interview with Paula M. Paula had suffered a long, arduous struggle against the dark, and now in her final moments with it, she relented to its questions. These are the only pages included with this notebook. If we want to read the rest, we'll have to find the other pages. Okay. Server room locked. Okay. Use the elevator. Elevator goes up. Do you want to go up? Yes. How are you doing so far? Do you need any help? No, I think I'm good for right now. You are very resourceful, Brian. If you need a reminder about what you're doing while you're in one of the facilities, just press L2 and I'll help. Well, that's good. Any information? Locker room locks. Tower bridge exit. What is over here? Torn pages. It's a series of torn pages, likely from that notebook on the first floor. It looks like the story starts here. The dark. Why struggle? You know I've been here. I've been waiting all this time. Why didn't you give up? Paula. It's not in my nature just to give up. The dark. Really? I'm not so sure about that. For a long time, even amongst your peers, you gave up. Or at least, you seem to withdraw from them. Isn't that like giving up? Paula, I don't think so. That's interesting, because they did. The further you isolated yourself, the less they felt like reaching out. Didn't you notice that? Paula, yes, I noticed it. I assume there's more. Maybe you'll find more pages as you press on. It's interesting though, isn't it? Sure is. I thought so. Hopefully we'll get to read the rest of the story. We should continue. Second floor hub. Nope. What's this? Open relay conduit. It's an open relay conduit. It looks like someone had repaired this terminal more than once in an attempt to continue transmissions. There's some clever work here. Your scan will help me configure the ship's communication parts to be more redundant and fail-safe. Now, we only need 4 more communication parts from this area. Alright, not bad. Okay. Oh, what else is this? Collection of books. It's a small pile of physical books. All colonists were issued data pads with e-reading abilities, but I suppose that wasn't to everyone's liking. There are assorted philosophy titles from old human writers. You can see very neat notes written in the margins. The first page has a monogram on it. W. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's with the fixation of the open world games. In fact, I think they kind of detract from good stories. Until the rating goes further up, yeah. Okay. You know, it's like linear games really aren't bad if the story is done well. You know, if the story sucks, then yeah, it's definitely not gonna win any kind of like awards from people. But you know, linearity is not bad if the storytelling and gameplay are good. What's this? Service panel. It's a remote service panel for running diagnostics and checking alerts. It's been jerry-rigged to allow non-standard signals. This work is unconventional, but I can use this to boost the signal in the escape ship's distress beacon. Now we only need 3 more communication parts from this area. There are certainly fewer components in that tower than you might think. I don't believe the drones finished fitting it as well as the others. As the construction of the colony's prefab elements continued, resource allocation estimates often become skewed. Too bad, really. What's this? More notes? Looks like a further set of pages from the field notebook on the first floor. The story continues. The dark. So what made you change your mind? You're here, talking to me now. You wouldn't have entertained that before. What changed? Well, this is the end, isn't it? There's no one else out there, so I'm talking to you. You know that's not true. There are still others out there. You can hear them on your radio. But they don't know that. They don't know I made a new radio. The dark. No, of course not. That's what makes you so interesting. You withdraw, but in your way, you still reach out. You just don't want anyone to discover that. Paula falls silent for a moment. The story sounds like it's getting serious. I'm curious. Who are you siding right now? Paula or the dark? Oh, wow. Interesting choice. Definitely the dark is making some good points. Paula does seem rather reclusive. A little isolated. I mean, the dark is making more sense. Like, but again, I'm gonna go with my gut. This first playthrough. If I do other ones, I'll check out other options. So I'm gonna go with the dark. It is making some good points, isn't it? I mean, with as much as we know about this Paula character, anyways, we better keep going. So I noticed that the answer choices go red and blue. I wonder if that has anything to do with the possible future outcome. Okay, system administrations. It's not bound to be a bunch of stuff here. This is standard issue bedroll. They're made of highly dense microfibers, so they're very lightweight and yet warm. It looks like someone has been using it in a habitat of sorts. Very curious. There's a hoard of old Earth technology on that dusty shelf. Amazingly, several of the pieces are still functioning. Someone must have collected these old computers, sound systems, and radios. Your scan will help me fabricate something inventive for the ship. I'm sure. Now we only need 2 more communication parts from this area. Okay. We should be able to find it soon. Ooh, more notebooks. You found a hefty stack of books there. These ones are mostly adventure stories. You humans do seem to love these kind of fantastic tales. The owner really did prefer physical reading, I see. They surely had access to digital versions of all this. In fact, there was an entire database. As with other books, these bear the W monogram. So again, this must all be property of Winnie. Portable lamp. It's a portable safety light. They use sophisticated LEDs and can last for over a year each. The lamp looks part of a little setup, including a bedroll. Someone must have been sleeping there. Please keep me informed if you find any interesting details. I messed it up. Security panel. The standard security panel. It must be what locked the other doors in this part of the relay. You going to turn off the security locks? Yep. Oh, what was this? I saw something else. Where was it? There it is. Ooh, almost caught me there. Those special foil wrappers were used for food and snacks, but of course you already knew that. It took over 10 Earth years of R&D to develop food that could travel such distances and still be palatable. Because of the efficiency with which Hudson Carter transported colony deployments, a lot of food could be included. Previous colonial missions were less successful because of inefficient cargo and food stores. Of course, until the Argos domes were built, you all had to subsist on just these various portable stores. Alright, so, what did I open? I am not even sure. Seems weird that people are just sleeping in like a cheap cot, kind of. It's all this expensive. Oh yeah, go down. I think what I'm looking for is down here somewhere. Use the elevator. Unlock. Okay, this is one of them rooms. What's this? Hanging tarp. The blanket appears to be a heat-absorbing synthetic blanket. It looks like it was hung up on that conduit. What do you think it was used for? A hanging tarp. Probably if it's hanging, it'd probably be a towel, I'd imagine. I suppose that would make sense. Those standard issue blankets are quick drying after all. Yeah, the only reason why you would hang. If it was a blanket, it would be next to the bedroll. A stack of pocket-sized physical books. I see. Looks like they're mostly guides to social interactions and workplace issues. I suppose whoever owned these books was, as you say, boning up. Is that what you say? Boning up? That's one of the first times I ever heard that. Boning up. What the hell is... I mean, does that mean like shagging with someone? That's what... I mean... I have no idea. So you got me. Perhaps we can both work on our slang together. Then, in any case, the owner of these books seemed to be studying social skills. Yeah, it probably is explaining a bit of just Winnie's personality, being that I guess she was a very reclusive person. Looks like that tiny portable terminal still has a tiny bit of life left. That model was known for being quite long-lasting. I can use your scan of its components as a guide for making the escape ship communications equipment more efficient. Now we only need one more communication part from this area. Portable terminal, okay. Use bedroll. Oh, I guess it was just... Okay. And I think the last thing was on the... Let me just double check. Better be safe than sorry. Okay, yeah, there's nothing else down here. Elevator goes down. Yep. I think that this room is the one I couldn't get into. Use bedroll, okay. More notes. It looks like a further set of pages from the field notebook in the first floor. The story continues. So who do you listen to most? The gardener woman? The drone leader? The self-appointed director? The... Interrupting. William. Sometimes he's still broadcasting the old colony. He sends me little messages, actually. And why him? Why William? He was so important here. He kept things working, he kept things repaired. He was essential, and nobody really gave him the respect he deserved. So what? Do you think you can relate to him? I don't know. Of all of them, I think I just understood him the best. When he stopped communicating, it felt like the end of the world. Well, when you think of it, it might be. You said it yourself. Paula gives the dark, cold, long stare. The toughest she can muster. There's no point in arguing the inevitable. Paula doesn't say anything. It seems to be the end of the story for now. I wonder if William is in reference to Mr. William King, who was maintenance chief in Colony B. It probably was. Probably was. You scanned a still functioning terminal that is apparently hooked up to the tower's mainframe. I bet you that room is one. The mainframe is unfortunately damaged, but the terminal you scanned can still help us. Good work. Well, you found all the components I need for now. When you're finished there, you can use the shuttle to return home. Okay. So I think we found everything. We found all the story. So I think it's safe to say we can head out. Comms relay appears to be in worse shape than I expected, but good work. Looks like what you found what we needed for today. Go ahead and use the shuttle to come back home. Man, seems like it might be a bit of a depressing story at the end. I hope not, but we'll see. We'll see. It definitely made it seem like Winnie was. Well, this is weird. Like, he was reading social books, I guess. Yeah, I don't mix. Wrapping my brain around. Excellent, you arrived. Please see me in the core immediately so we can process your findings. Yeah, it's weird. Why was she, reading social books? Books on, like, I guess she wanted to just be more approachable to him? I'm assuming? Okay, I've seen the data you scanned and collected today out there. Thank you for bringing this to me. I have good news as well. I've got the Holostim chamber up and running. The constructs on the 4 colonists are already loaded. They're already working on helping you, but due to the currently limited availability of power and processing cycle, the chamber is a little shaky. You can retire to your quarters when you... Okay, let me start that over. You can retire to your quarters. When I've got the Holostim stable enough for you to enter, I'll call for you. Okay, so I wonder if we're going to play the Holostim chamber. It sounds like we're going to actually play as those individuals, and try to, best represent who they are. Brian, can you hear me? I'm sorry to wake you, but I need to show you something. I was able to make the final adjustments, and I got the Holostim chamber nice and stable for you. I think it's best if you meet one or the others as soon as possible. So could you please go to the chamber in the South Hall? You said south, okay. And we can begin right in here. Thank you for coming. The chamber will only work at night when the other systems are powered down. It's a limitation of our current situation, I'm afraid. This also means that I'll be in low-powered mode too, so you'll be on your own in there. I won't be able to see or hear what happens. So the time you get in the chamber will be strictly between you and whoever you're seeing that day. In the morning, the holograms will sync their data and ideas with me. Tonight, you'll be meeting Winnie Laurier for the first time, since the comms relay was her domain. It makes sense that you visit with her. Remember, these holographic reactions, they're based on backup data I kept for each key member of the colony. They are, in effect, the very same people. However, after the Rift event broke off communications with other parts of the facility, and I lost track of these people, I was no longer able to keep them up to date. These constructs will remember anything past a certain point. They might be a little touchy about that, so please do be careful. Anyways, when you're ready, just enter the chamber and use the control situation within. When you're finished, you can return to your quarters. I'll speak to you again in the morning. Good luck in there. Thanks. You're very welcome. I hope these visits help us get closer to our goal more effectively. We've got an awful lot riding on this. Ooh, this seems interesting. What's going to happen? Begin HoloSim program. Oh, hi there. Don't mind me. I just need to finish these calculations. I'll be done in a moment. The AI told me about your trip today. Did you, find those items you needed? Yes. That's good. I'm sure the AI will be able to help you get what you need in the end. Anyways, I think I'm done here for now. I guess, let's just have a seat on the sofa. I could use a break. Sorry if you could hear one of my neighbors mowing. It's like the AI has us all working quite a bit. We can simulate pretty much whatever we need in here to figure out how to best help you. Whatever you scan up there, the AI can give to each of us in here so we can keep working. It's a pretty smart setup, really. I choose to make my work environment this room. Is that how I remember my old apartment back on Earth? Is that weird? Not at all. Thank you for saying so. It's not the most practical choice, but having all my old books here and this old sofa, it just feels like home. Anyways, yeah, I must certainly be keeping you busy as well. So I'm glad you're here. And since you are, well, what would you like to talk about? I guess the ship's, well, the colony, you pick. Very interesting choices. It definitely begs, a replay just to kind of see what other interactions you'll be getting. But like I said, I'm trying to get out of here, so let's talk about the ship's comms. Well, I'm sure the AI explained, my job is to help you get the escape ship's communication system repaired, so you don't blast off into space with no voice. Even if everything else is functioning, you wouldn't want to be out there with no way to contact anyone. I think I'd rather be adrift than not having a working radio. What I think the AI's plan to sound, if you can contact someone from a shipping lane, you can hopefully arrange a pickup. Kind of like thumbing a ride back on Earth, I guess. I never did that. Now that I think of it, I definitely was too afraid to try it. Anyway, sorry. I'm talking too much. Odd. I don't think I ever talked this much before when I was, real. Alive. I wonder why that is. Do you want to talk about anything else? Oh, we can do more subjects, huh? Just the colony. We had as much a chance as anyone at making this work. In the end, I don't think I could have quite believed that it was going to fail. We arrived here when 2048? What year is it now? Oh hell. Shit. It's like 2064. Wow. So 16 years. So much has happened. There was so much needless loss. By the time we all arrived here in 2048, the remote colony building systems had all the basics ready. Most people were pretty excited to get started. But I had a harder time adjusting. Space travel will do that to some people. At least that's what the head psychologist, Miss Bochard, told me. Something about how close everybody was. You know, it was easy to feel trapped. We trained for all that, of course, but the real thing is different. Do you want to talk about anything else? You pick. Oh well. As you can probably tell, I'm not great at small talk, but okay. Let's see. How about books? Do you read much? I want to say, I mean, in real life, I read sometimes, not always. But let's connect better with, uh, old girl over here, or Winnie. So we'll say voraciously. Oh, well, me too. I mean, obviously, you might have noticed that, I guess, since apparently you found a bunch of my books the AI told me about. The AI told me about that. I really like adventure stories, big, complicated ones. I suppose it helped deal with the relative closeness of living in the colony. I could imagine I was anywhere, and the Hudson character manual said that escape was important to thriving in a remote colony. I suppose that's partly why we were equipped with this hollow sim chamber. It wasn't standard issue, so the higher ups must have felt it was important. There were programs that we all brought with us. I don't know much about the other people but the other people did in there. Maybe some took exotic vacations. William, Maintenance Chief King. I think he had some version of his wife in there. She didn't come with him. She stayed on Earth. He never said anything about it, but I could tell it got to him. I mean, it did to all of us. But most of us were, well, alone. Normally, Hudson Carter wouldn't allow colonists to be separated from their loved ones. They came as a package, or they didn't go at all. Kept stressed down, they said. But William, well, he was a bit older, and the best candidate for the job. I suppose HC knew how important he was to the mission. Damn. I wonder what his wife is doing, if she's still alive back on Earth. I wonder if she knows, what happened to us. Anyways, so you were in the comms relay today, huh? What was it like out there? Oh, fuck. I was like, how do I... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's like... Let's see here. Show the pages. I don't know. I don't know if I want to show the pages, because that seems like it might Because it definitely seemed like the dark was like a suicidal tendency, you know. She was just going to end it as that's what the dark sort of represents, what I believe. I will say it was damp. Because I know that the AI did warn me that they can be touchy if I try to reveal too much about the missing the gap of information from when they died to when they were last alive, or till I mean when they died to when in current time. It was damp. The acidic rain must be really wearing it down then. That was one factor that we couldn't properly account for. Hudson Carrier knew of the weather systems on this planet, of course. It had a decade's worth of survey data which to plan for this project. But I guess a decade only tells you so much. The systems changed, and the acidic rain became much worse and much more frequent. I'd be surprised if any of the structures there didn't suffer damage. In Colony B, we had it the worst. Things eroded so fast. The comms relay seemed relatively intact, but even so, it was tough to keep the equipment working. I can still feel the chill of that place somehow. Maybe it's a good thing you have that scarf. It's warm, it's stylish. Do you want it? How would you give a... I don't know. That seems like a good choice, I guess. Thanks, but I really don't feel the code anymore. Not in the real sense. It's nice of you to offer, though. Shit, I guess that was a bad choice. I don't know. What else did you think about the comms relay? Damn it. Am I... I mean, I guess if it's... Okay, I guess that's really... Well, I guess it's wanting us to go through everything, so... Let's show the pages. You what? Oh, you found a notebook, didn't you? With the story in it. Oh no, that's embarrassing. Yeah, that notebook was mine. I was writing stories well, to pass the time and to deal with things. I always wanted to write a book, but I never did. I guess I figured it was my only chance to try. I know it wasn't very good. I guess it was trying to put my thoughts and, well, my feelings into some kind of relatable way. But that was probably pretty obvious. It's funny though, now that I think of it, I don't remember how that story ends. I can't remember everything I wrote. What did you think of it? What did you think of what you read? I mean, if you read it. It was good. Really? Well, thanks. I appreciate you saying so. That means a lot. What else did you think about the comms relay? There are 5 towers in the relay. You must have been in Tower A. It never was completed. The relay was designed to be redundant, so not everything is in one place, and there are always backups of critical systems. It was I was the one who designed it, or consulted on the key components, back on Earth, but not everything was built to spec. I remember there were some issues with some of the drones. We lost some capability, so we had to think on our feet. That's why Tower A is only half finished. It seems like almost nothing went the way it was supposed to. It's it's so awful to think about all those people. Ah, you have it worse though. to be the last. I can't even bear to think about it. Yep, it sure was. It sure is bad to think about it. So, it kind of sounds selfish, but as I work in here, I kept thinking about the fact that I'm here, and yet, well, I'm not. I think I feel I can see you, obviously, and it's not, and it all seems real. But I'm not here, am I? I'm not. I mean, I'm not really around anymore. So obviously something happened to me. I mean, the real me. But I can only remember so far back. I guess the AI's version of me only accounts for so much. It's like a backup, I suppose. The me you see, is this the most recent version? But does it count? Does any of this matter if I'm not even real? Oh boy, decisions. Yes, of course, don't worry, you are to me. hmm. Tough choice. I'm gonna say you are real to me. I. Okay, thanks. It means a lot that you think so, and that you came here to talk to me. I mean, not just for work. Look, I don't want to keep you here, considering all you have to worry about. You do need to rest, and you still have so much to do. But do you mind, well, to see if you can find out what happened to me? Maybe find some kind of record of what I went through? Let's see, I'll try or I promise. I'm sorry. I don't think I'd say I'm sorry. I'd go with that promise. Thank you. Maybe we can talk about it some more next time I see you. Take care for now. I mean, they did say it was a romance game, so maybe we might stay behind or something. Get instead of get saved. I don't know. This game does seem like it's going to end up being a bit longer than home for sure. Turn to the cruise code. No, that is weird concept to think about. Like having an AI version of yourself. Like, would it be considered real or fake? You know? It's a little trippy to think about. Good morning, Brian. I received notice that Holosim Chamber had been successfully accessed. How did it go? Really well. That's wonderful to hear. I hope Miss Laurie was able to give you some helpful information on repairing the escape ship. I received information from Miss Laurie's construct this morning, after I returned to a full waking state. Whatever happened in there, it appears to have helped her problem solve a bit more effectively in regards to the escape ship. I'm already crunching numbers on her ideas. I think this plan of ours is going to really help us out. In any event, you can return to the core when you're ready. I've got some new mission options for you today. Ah, okay. So it seems like okay, so we definitely want to make, the best possible choice in what we say to make sure that, you know, we get that ship repaired, more effectively than like crap. Now that you've been to the comms relay and we have the hollow sim chamber working, I think it's time to branch out a bit. We have a few choices. First, we can try to recover plant material at Argos domes. We need to start equipping the escape ship with materials for the food processors. Leslie ran the Argos dome, so if you head there today, you can meet her tonight in the hollow sim chamber. Next is what the colonists call the caves, our emergency mining and processing center. The mine is available to visit. We could use more resources for fuel. Resource manager Gene Lumumba was responsible for energy production, so if you head there, you'll see him tonight in the hollow chamber. Next is Will Connolly B. Due to the recent shifts, it's finally accessible again, although I am reluctant to send you there. It's likely in a terrible state, but it might still have parts that we can salvage for the escape ship's thrusters. Fortunately, we have no choice but to check. If you do visit there, you'll get to meet Director Pierre Tong tonight in the hollow sim chamber. He might not like what we discover, though. Discovering more about each colonist is key to our survival. The more you can connect with their constructs, the more they'll be able to. The more help they'll be to us. Oh my gosh, I can't even fucking read. When you're ready, you can head south to the shuttle bay to plot a course to one of the areas. Interesting. Food, fuel, or a better ship? Mission complete over there. Currently B, currently inaccessible. Huh. Argos domes. The caves. Let's go here first. I think we'll go there. Yeah, we'll go to the Argo domes. But yeah, definitely like the idea of having like a AI simulation of yourself is it's a strange concept. I don't think most people think about that in their own just willy-nilly free time. Okay, this is the main grow dome in the facility where the colonists use advanced hydroponics to grow base foods for processing. You can't see it from the ground, but the top of the building is like a giant round basin and was designed to catch the rainfall and collect it. The top layer of the building processes the rain to remove its acidic elements and treat it to be potable and sustainable for plants. Once you're inside, you should be able to see the various grow rooms, but my readings seem off. Something's not entirely right. Ooh, interesting. That's not right. The decontamination chamber you're in should be scanning you and clearing the air of toxins before you enter to protect the operation inside. It doesn't appear to be working correctly. Be careful in there. Oh hell. Based on what I'm reading, the facility seems to be in quite a state. Remember, we're here to find salvageable plants samples, and we can use to keep the food processors running until we escape. But first, you should find something that would indicate what the crew were dealing with. Try looking for research notes on tables or desks. Examine water tube. Tube feeds water collected on the special roof to the hydroponic system here in his dome. It looks terribly corrupted, though. The water seems heavily saturated with the toxic material that shouldn't be in the system. Dangerous. Leafy green chamber 2. Inaccessible, okay. Dome administration, okay, I'm just checking out the map, see where all I can go. What's this? These research notes handwritten by multiple people. Things must have been chaotic. Based on these, I can confirm 2 of the crew members. Leslie, of course. As a facility manager, she was always on duty, and she would have been here to the very end. Ashley Hainsworth, the chief genetics researcher, she and Miss B had very different point of views, if their personal lives were any indication. Personal? Oh, I didn't pry into personal communications. Well, not while they were alive, at least. But in the past while, I've been looking into everything. Miss B was an excellent leader, though a bit of a reluctant one. She preferred consultation with her subordinates and open discussion. Miss Hainsworth, on the other hand, felt that leadership required a stronger hand, and as the situation got worse, their differences became more pronounced. I can imagine. Inaccessible. The legumes chamber. Alright, we'll start down this way and make our way across. Look at the note. It's a note for horticultural technician Florent Marchand. Please note, solution tubes are leaking due to faulty seals. New ones are being printed and will be installed. I know it sucks, but I'm backed up with repair request. Crazy. Now, this would be a scary ass situation. You know, be stuck in like a foreign planet, and then slowly you just see the end coming. God, that'd be fucking horrible. It's like, just a horrible way to go. Shape. Looks like the walls have collapsed and there's a lot of damage all around. There were other labs around the other side of that corridor, but we won't be able to access all of them. We'll just have to focus our efforts here. Okay, see what else we can find. Looks like a seismic event collapsed one of the walls here. He may be able to squeeze through, though. So nothing is good or edible, I guess. What's this? Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. You have found the corpse of Harlow Jaeger. The production supervisor, his body is trapped beneath the rubble from that wall. Let's see. It looks like he attempted to keep himself alive with the produce in that room, but either the tainted crops got the better of him or he simply never came. Or help simply never came. God, like I said, that's gotta be some of the worst way to go. You know, just to slowly seeing everything just start to crumble and, you know, just be helpless and, you know, definitely the downsides of space exploration. You know, if you get stuck on Mars or some shit, you know, help is a lot. It's a note from horticulture technician Florence Marchand. Special ventilation for this room is permanently shut down. Nothing we can do about it. There's an addition. If you two could have stopped bickering, maybe you could. Okay, again, tongue-tied. If you two could have stopped bickering, maybe you'd have done your job and these crops wouldn't have failed. Okay. I just now realized to probably double check, maybe, you know, like in a home, to just double look at everything to make sure you actually get actually get like the full dialogue of whatever he's saying, the main character's saying. It's crazy, I still haven't found a single plant. Check machine, password required, okay. Good work, you found something that can help us. According to these notes, a toxin of some kind compromised the whole facility, impacting food growth. There's a detailed analysis on the toxin here. I might be able to use these formula to reconfigure your scanner. Yes, this will work. You should be able to scan whatever plant life you come across now, determine if it's suitable for processing. We need to find specimens that are at least 60% viable for processing. What's this? Boots? Single cot. The well-mounted cot is similar to your own bed. It was meant for short-term rest for the colonists who work there. Sometimes longer than normal hours were required, and that break room was used as temporarily sleeping quarters often. Oh, what else? Oh, books. There was an assortment of reference texts, as well as leisure reading on the shelf. There is also a collection of holotapes. Oh my. They look to be bootleg movies. There are drama, action, and even romance films, all entirely illegal copies that someone must have covertly brought with them, or scanned via the interspace net. If the situation wasn't so dire, I would be inclined to note this in my next report to Hudson Carrier Mission Control, but given the circumstances, it hardly seems a priority. Yeah, I remember back in my Army days that whenever we go to deployment, bunch of movies from like the Afghan locals would just be like all these bootleg copies from China and all that shit. It's always fun. Shit quality, but hey, it beats waiting, like 6-7 months to actually get out of deployment and actually watch the film in theater. But okay. It's a note from horticultural technician Florin. Okay, Florin again. Use of the processing machine without my say-so is expressly forbidden. Since you keep going around my back, I've password locked it. You want in? Pay attention to my warning next time. Well, what's this? What's that? Good find. That datapad still has some power left and doesn't seem to be password protected. Let me see if there's anything of use. It seems to contain the private chat thread between Ashley, the chief genetics researcher, and Arlo, the production supervisor. I'll read it to you. Ashley. So now you see what I mean. Arlo. Yeah, it's like she's afraid to make a decision. Exactly. She seems to freeze when things like this happen. I agree that this situation with the toxins needs to be dealt with more quickly. Ashley, don't be so diplomatic. You're sounding like her. I think we have a huge problem here. She needs to make a decision. Chat log ends there. It seems like some of Leslie's subordinates didn't agree with her leadership style. Well, I'd actually tend to agree with more Ashley in this case, since, in a situation like this, you kind of really do need to be, making good, sound choices. You have to How do I scan these? Oh, this is promising that spinach is generally rich in nutrients. Lab modifications have made it exceptionally so. It has been compromised somewhat by the environment, but we can still use some of it. It is 61% viable for processing. Alright. But yeah, in a situation like this where everything is like starting to go out of control, you really need to start making like some good calls. You know, being a bit more decisive. You know, waiting around too long can be kind of bad. There are flowers growing at the base of the vines. They appear to be either resistant to the toxins that have invaded the dome or a result of them. Likely they took root within the filtration and drainage system below and crawled their way up through the grate. Field note from Florent. Okay, yeah. It reads, the ceiling tracks were damaged by the sudden growth of vines. Due to damage, auto sprinklers haven't been able to move correctly. This room is probably beyond repair. Oh, bother. You scanned Rampion, an ancient earth vegetable. Genesis recently revived the strain for its hardiness and nutrition. Excellent work. This leaf green is still 75% viable for processing. Hey, nice. Hmm. I guess, yeah, again, I should have went to that room first. What's this? Well, this is a surprise. This plant is entirely unknown and not one of the varieties commonly grown in the domes. Somehow it's thrived within this toxic environment. The scan shows it's 92% viable for processing. Unknown plant type. Hell, I probably killed myself just scanning that stupid thing. Right, so now we can actually do stuff in this room. The lentil plant looks fairly vibrant. The surface detail suggests it's mostly intact. Yes, the scan confirms it. Excellent find. The plant is 89% viable for processing. Anything else? Those green bean vines were once fast growing and efficient, but they appeared withered and dry now. Fortunately, the scan confirms they are not even 7% viable. Well, that sucks. Maybe sucks is the password. Let me scan any plants in here, in these rooms first, before I head back to, He scanned modified potatoes. Their rich color comes from the extra vitamins and minerals they carry. Looks like these potatoes were heavily affected and 35% viable. Oh bother. Okay, what else can I scan? Unknown species of flowers has sprung in this hydroponic system. It appears to have mutated from another strain. I'm checking the flowers again to see if these are even viable as a food source. It appears not. They're too alien for our systems. The flowers are barely 5% viable. Yeah, I wouldn't trust fucking alien plant life for consumption. I mean, if you just understand basic, biology and stuff, and understand environments, ecology and all that shit, it's like things grow in like a certain order, Like if you try to have an invasive, it's like with invasive species, basically. Like if you, like if you introduce an animal or something that's not meant to be there, the effects can be like really bad. Same with, in space. Well, I mean, not anybody knows. Just a figure of saying that I have habit of saying. Machinist timeout requires a passcode to unlock it. Do you want to enter passcode? Let's do it. Sucks. Suck. God damn it. Okay, never mind. Alright, let me look around some more. Hmm. Pay attention to the warnings. So, might be more than one? Damn it. Oh, okay. Now I know. This sucks. Wasn't too bad. There we go. This should be it. What? Unless there's another note I'm missing. That don't make sense. Wait, what's this? So, sucks? Oh. Okay, now I get it. This job sucks. Okay. Neat little puzzle. But yeah, definitely, would not be willing to, eating plant life from alien sources. Oh, whoops. Not something I'd ever consider. It's like, I'll stick to Earth-based foods. It's a processing machine. Oh, it's a processing machine. Colonists would take crops and turn them into raw materials for the food processors and life support systems. However, it looks like it's been reconfigured, judging by the data. Miss B and her crew were trying to create a herbicide to fight off the invasive vines. It looks like they're partly succeeded, but they may have to abandon the dome before their work was finished. Why? Or how so? Well, an automated procedure was initiated, but no one confirmed its completion. By activating the machine again, you've confirmed the procedure. According to this is a successful herbicide was made. The mean should dispense it to the slot beside you. Oh, over here. Derp. The herbicide can be applied directly to vines. Are there any areas where the vines are getting in your way? Yeah, if I remember, like over here, this one. See what happens when you apply the herbicide to the vines. Vines seem to have recessed. You can access that area now. Scan more documents. That printed photograph is faded and damaged, but I can still make out its general image. It appears to be of the breed of canine known as a corgi. The dog is at an earth farm of some kind. Corgis are often used for small-scale herding of animals, such as bovines. Their diminutive stature allows them to avoid being kicked. Maybe Miss B would know something about this dog. You can ask her about it when you see her in her holosim chamber. Good idea. These were flowers that Miss B was growing. She seemed to be using substantial resources purely for aesthetic purposes. Well, that's kind of fucked up. A certain percentage of dome production time and materials were dedicated to this for psychological and community purposes. Oh well, I guess that makes more sense now. It's like I don't believe this effort, however, was within the allotted amounts. Miss B seemed to have taken quite an interest in flowers. What isn't clear, however, is whether these were grown during normal production or after the toxin set in. Either way, this broken bulb has been too greatly affected. We cannot use them for our purposes. That broken bulb contains chicory, which was often used as a coffee substitute. The flowers look fairly healthy. Unfortunately, prolonged exposure to the air and polluted water means the plant is only 20% viable. Interesting. If you really love the flowers, farm back home. Let's see, is there anything else I can use the over here? Any other plant I can... Oh, another dead person. Florent Marchand. I forget to inform you that you discovered the body of Florent, horticulture tech. His remains are quite old, and your scan reveals little in how he died. There appears to be severe trauma to his skull. It could be from a heavy blow or a sudden impact if he fell. There is a ladder there, suggesting he was using it to repair something, but I can't be sure. Oh man, that sucks. That really sucks. That's specially modified garden cress. This variety is far more nutritious than its natural version. It looks like only that plant survived, but we're in luck. It's 78% viable. Well, you seem to have scanned everything. You're going to find it there. There isn't much more you can do. It's unfortunate that the facility was in such poor shape. At least we were able to salvage something for your food supply. This doesn't solve our long-term goal of stocking the escape ship, but it at least stabilizes things while we keep working. When you're ready, head back to the shuttle. Okay, yep. I want to explore it a little bit more. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Yeah, I just want to double check things. Like I said, I kind of want to get a decent ending. And with the way home was set up, I was like, I don't want to regret missing out on some information. You know, just because I was out of, well, the biggest reason why I missed out on on home was simply because of the. Okay, you can't go through there. You know, was the was the fact that I ended up getting tricked. You know, and went into an area I couldn't really go back from, unknowingly to me. So yeah, I kind of got stuck out, kind of like forced out of one of the areas before I was able to like forced to move on essentially. So I was like, man, that sucks. Like, definitely gonna have to do another play run through of that game. Poisonous plants that have invaded the dome are strange indeed. We were fortunate to find even a few samples as we did for our use. It looks like Miss B and her staff were scrambling to figure out how to combat the toxin and revive the food system. After the Rift event, so many things fell apart. We're discovering more and more evidence of that. I suppose there's nothing more to be done there. You should get back home and out of that rain. Oh, there we go. Inaccessible. Okay, it just wants me to go back. Okay. Oh, man. I'm enjoying this game so far. It's like, I wonder what the Rift event they keep mentioning. Was it some kind of like earthquake or so much to kind of figure out. I'm glad to see you made it back unharmed. Please come to the core right away so we can process your findings. Of course. Then I think I'll end this stream once I get done with the chat with old Leslie or Miss B or whatever. Okay, all the data you collected today is synced and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since you went to the Argo Domes, you'll be able to visit Miss B in the Holosim chamber tonight. You can tie your quarters when you're ready. I'll call you when the hologram chamber is available. Holosim chamber, yeah. Whatever, same thing. Alright. Let's get ready to talk to another AI simulation. It's time. The Holosim chamber is ready for you now. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. It's like, after playing home, I'm really expecting to be like a really sad ending at the end of this. You know, I wonder exactly what that ending could be, but I don't know. It's like, oh, hello there. It's nice to finally get to meet you. I'm aware of your trip today, at least partly. How did the mission go? No problem. I'm glad to hear it. You seem very capable. Certainly so, if you survived this long. I've just been I've just been down. I've been here tending my garden. It's odd that now well, this, I guess that I finally get to do what I love. Back in the Argos Dome, we were under a lot of pressure. Managing the staff and the operation was so important, but if I'm being honest, it was always the plants that I loved. The process of it, the puzzle of it all, you know? I get you. I love plants myself. Really? That's comforting. In a way, when you're the director of an operation like that, it's hard to find people who share your passions. When I signed up to come out here, I was thrilled with the idea of cultivating and nurturing an entire ecosystem. I mean, Hudson, I'll just call it HC because then it gets annoying. HC had a plan, of course. There are stages to terraforming, the ultimate one being, really, the creation of life. Just imagine it. The whole world, green, lush, and vibrant, just like Earth used to be. The promise of that kept me going every day. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? Oh, tell me more. Well, you know, the others were obsessed with radios or drones or ships. With me, it's always been about plants. When I was little, my family had a small farm, one of the few that were left. By then, agriculture was almost entirely automated. It was illegal to sell crops we produced, too much regulation, too many companies controlling our food. You probably remember that. So we were only able to feed ourselves, which was also technically illegal. Everything we grew was natural, or as close to it as close as we could get. But after my parents died, I couldn't afford to keep the farm, to fend off the legal challenges from companies who claimed we were stealing patented seeds. And somehow I found my way here. HC gave me labs, gave me farmland, let me set up greenhouses. All the rations we had, those were all designed in my lab, tested in my fields. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's like anything else. It's rewarding to be challenged, to break new ground. Plants are like that for me. Maybe it's different for you, but the thrill of seeing life grow between your hands, under your feet, it's magical for me. Especially since this facility is so cold otherwise. All these prefab halls, building blocks, pieces, everything in this place. Plants, flowers, trees, you can only impose so much order on them, you know? They soften the edges, reduce the monotony. But now, all I have is this little garden, and it isn't even real. I guess, nor am I. Oh, Brian, what are we going to do? It's okay. Most of the time I forget that I'm just a stupid hologram. A simulation. But sometimes I remember, and I can't think about anything else. Listen, let's change the subject. Otherwise, I won't be able to calm down. You must have some questions, something you want to talk about. Let's go with the domes first, and then the dog photo. Sure. I can tell you more about the Agros Dome before everything went askew. It was quite the place. You probably only saw the main agricultural dome. That was where all the production took place. It was really something else. Prior to coming here, we had researched for a decade the kinds of plants we should cultivate. We went through so many trials for sustainability, nutrition, efficiency, We couldn't bring meat or animals. They were too costly and difficult to manage, but the food processors could take plant parts and create so much with them. That technology was headed by my team that Pierre appointed. My job was to find the right plants, the ones that could be used for hundreds of different things. We actually lost more seeds than we expected during space travel here. So in a way, we started behind schedule. Finally, I was able to farm for real. Not just feed myself, but to supply an entire system. I think my parents would have loved it. And is there anything else you'd care to talk about? Dog photo. Oh, that's Charlie, my old dog. Wherever did you find this? Boy, do I miss that old corgi. Poor Charlie. I don't know how long it's been before I committed to HC and eventually this. I had to give him up. He was the best. I tried to make him a working dog, but to be honest, he was kind of lazy. I wasn't great at training him. Charlie would sort of pretend to listen to me, but he always had his own agenda. I was a sucker for it. He was just too charming. That scruffy little guy. He's probably, well, gone by now. But the farmer who took him was great to him. I know. Good old Charlie. I'm glad you brought this to me. It's nice to think about the old farm. It helps me focus. I think I can work even harder on these fixes for your ship now. Is there anything else you care to talk about? Yeah, okay. You can talk about them. Although I warn you, I'm better with plants than I am with people. I think one of the other reasons I love working with plants so much is that they're systems. I can understand. People are different. The lab work, farming. It's all complicated and often hard to predict, but people are just more so. Being a chief at the domes reminded me of that. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred to be in the labs all day, not managing people. I'm not sure I was the best of it. The best of it, huh? Well, I know I wasn't, although I can't quite remember why. I guess the AI's version of me isn't as complete as it should be. Do I remember? I do remember, however, Ashley. She was always chief genetics researcher. We always didn't see eye to eye. You know, just before the Rift event, I recall us having quite a heated argument. She wanted to push ahead with a new strain of tuber, and I disagreed. I can't thank you enough for coming to visit. It does get lonely in here, even if it is beautiful. I hope you'll come back again sometime. You bet. That'd be great. It helps to talk about these things, go over details. It'll keep me sharp so I can help you with your ship. I'm going back to my garden now. I suppose. Good luck, Brian. Hope to see you again soon. I hope I'm making the right choices. Oh man. It's definitely crazy. I mean, I love like all the depth of characters that you're seeing here. You really don't see that too often in most games nowadays. At least I haven't seen any, characters with a lot of emotional depth to them. Just, most people I've seen are just there as like filler, I guess. It's like, let's see how I did. Day 3. Good morning. Once again, the hologram seems very motivated. Did you have an enjoyable time last night? You bet. Excellent. Our decision to augment our efforts with the holograms has proven to be the right one. This is great news. As long as I feel inspired to aid you, I believe they will excel in their work. Please keep this in mind. There are 2 more areas you can explore to further our goal. Come see me in the core again. We can begin your day. Now, I said I was ending the stream here, but fuck it. I'm gonna try to solo it tonight. I just need to get some tea first, real quick. Something to kind of wet my lips. Alright. I'm gonna do this real quick. Then I'm gonna go get me something to drink. I'll be gone for just a few seconds. There are still 2 more areas I'd like to go check out while we can. Please go south to the shuttle bay to choose your missions for today. Remember, when you choose an area, you can see which hologram is associated with that area, if that's important to you. Okay. Head to the shuttle bay. Okay. I'll be right back. We'll continue the stream. I think that was like... Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that delay. Let's see. John or Perry? Let's go to the caves. That other area looks like it's definitely a lot more wrecked. So the planet's landscape is hostile. Its core is rich with minerals and a special kind of crystal that we can process into fuel. HC did decades of research to understand this crystal and how to exploit it for the energy needs of the colony. I'm not sure why your colleagues chose to call this facility the Caves, but it does contain the administration offices that leads to the mining operations. Well, it kind of makes sense. After the Rift event, the Caves have been offline. I need you to investigate if there's anything left to process. Sounds simple enough. Anything out here? No, don't look like it. This administration building is where Mr. Lumumba and his staff worked. So far, it seems surprisingly intact. Before we do anything else, let's check out Lumumba's office. It should be to the door to your right. Alright? Let's check out Mr. Lumumba's terminal. Maybe there will be some answers there. You need access to this terminal, but it appears to need facial recognition to unlock it. The system isn't completely accurate. Maybe there's a way to get around it. Huh. Bookshelf. Row upon row of technical books regarding mining. The shelf is covered in molds and dirt from the damaged ceiling. Alright, so I guess we gotta find like a picture or something. Command center for the mining facility. All the actual mining was done by drones. It's much safer that way. Operations staff manage the drones in the mines from here. They track black. There isn't much trace of the staff here, though that's odd. I don't have records of an evacuation. Oh man, don't tell me they were like caved in and God, that would be horrible. Those big displays show the staff, the real-time movements of drones, plus general conditions and other data. Unfortunately, that monitor has been damaged, so it won't be of much use to you. Seems to be stuck in some kind of error loop. A warning keeps flashing on the screen. Ventilation error. Failure. The lounge area appears to be surprisingly opulent, even amongst all the dust and debris. Those synthetic leather chairs are not cheap. Modern day mining operations seem much more comfortable compared to the mines of 100 years ago. Well, synthetic leather should be cheap. What the hell? Oh, where is it? There's a low-power photo frame device on the counter. It's currently flashing a photo of manager Lumumba, who's smiling. The frame gives it a convincing 3D effect. Of course, that's how we're getting that access. Terminal shows an account of all the drones that were displayed. Deployed to the mines are the status are all right offline. Well, you know what? Jumbled my words there. Alright, let's access the terminal. Resource Manager Lumumba's terminal contains all the usual reports and statistics on the mine's operation. There is, however, a voice conversation between Mr. Lumumba and Director Pierre Tong. I'll give you the details. Don't you see what's happening out there? I see just fine. I'm handling it. Damn it, Pierre. Just admit we're screwed. The Rift event has doomed us all. It's not like that. AF 4B 3B has every distress signal we've got firing back home. We're gonna be fine. Fine? Conley B is the smoking ruin. Everyone's blaming you. You know, our genius leader completely out of his depth. We're going to be fine. I'm prepared for this. I'm prepared for this. Those idiots are just freaking out. Just because you're not leading them. Because, oh damn it. Oh damn it. John, what is it? I have to go. Someone is trapped down in the mines. I have to go. John, can't go down there. Don't be an idiot. The audio file cuts off there. That's all I can extract from the terminal. Oh damn. This sounds pretty scary. Inspect the monitor. The monitor shows a real-time overview of what's going on in the mines. The blue indicators is where you are right now. Those red areas, though, those indicate humans who shouldn't be in the mines during operation. They could indicate survivors I couldn't account for. You need to get down there and verify if anyone is still alive. Ooh, I doubt it. Well, let's go check. and welcome to whoever had joined. What a sight! That room has been completely demolished. You can head down to the mines or take a look at the equipment up there. Let's see, what's out here? Let's look at equipment. This is a sorting chamber. You can still see some of the special drones attached to the pillars up there. They maneuver around to sort the various crystals within the mining aggregate and package them up in safety containers. Not much I can do. Descend down into the mines. I'm breathing very dirty air down there. It looks like part of the mine suffered a cave-in. It must be very stifling in there. What's this? There are chips and circuits from one of the excavation drones on the mine floor. They've been stripped of all their wiring. Inspect the crusher. It's a high-powered crushing device that breaks down the mining aggregate from the lower chambers. Once the pieces are small and light enough, they get shipped to the sorting chamber on the conveyor. The mining drone has been crushed by the falling debris. It will never mine again. Well, that's pretty obvious. What's this? Picture? Gene Lumba data log. You seem to have scanned a portable data log. It must have gotten accidentally picked up with the mining aggregate. This apparently belonged to Gene Lumumba. It appears somewhat damaged, but I am able to pull a fragment from the original audio. Here it is, as best as I can access it. This is Gene Lumumba, resource manager. I tried to help out. They got stuck down here. Two of them. Vic Tovov and Fisher. As much as I hate to admit it, Amy Pierre was right. This place might be where I die. That's where this log ends. It seems to be the first part of a series of recordings. Descend below. That's where the excavation drones brought the blasted aggregate and loaded it into automated carts. The air is even fouler down there. That drone looked like it failed when exposed to more dirt than it was designed for. It was definitely overworked. What was this crystal? That's a collection of motor function parts from an excavation drone, or at least the basics. Many small parts have been removed. Let's see. What else is there? Oh, what's this? Looks like some safety caps were left down there when people left. Oh, it's just a mining cap. Alright, let's go down further. You're in one of the digging chambers, or at least one that didn't completely collapse. Your signal is weak. Please be careful. Another log. Looks like you found a data log. It appears to be the second in the series. I've pulled what audio I can from it. I'll read it for you. I'm here in the mining caves. I've been sometime cave-ins have made return impossible. Viktorov, her eyes, so afraid, so maniac. That fear reminded me to keep going. I'm not giving up. You fool, Pierre. Maybe your pig-headedness is exactly what I needed right now. That's all I can recover from this log. What's this? It appears someone removed many of that drone's components. Judging by its condition, it was mercifully inoperable by that point. More parts? This drone has been heavily excavated for parts and pieces. It looks so helpless there, down in that awful place. Oh, who's this? Body of Maya Fisher. That is geochemist Maya Fisher. Looks like her suit was compromised. It's got several deep slashes throughout. She was likely exposed to the toxic air for too long. The scan revealed an item in her pocket. A replicated ring in a small box. Looks like a simple wedding band. It's of no use to us, but I find it curious. What else am I supposed to do? So I go back, I guess? I go back. That shows the path I missed. Is this a path? Oh yeah, it is. Enter the refuge station. Oh, another dead person. Body of Carolota Viktorov. These remains of excavation supervisor Carolota Viktorov are surprisingly well preserved. She must have sealed herself in that refuge chamber. She's holding on to some crud notes, apparently scrawled on the backs of pages to an emergency manual. The notes read like some kind of last statement. Escape ship needed energy. Came to my secret stash of processed stuff. Cave-ins forced me in here. Without ventilation, air is finite. Fisher tried to rat me out. Took care of it. Don't want to die in this tomb. But at least the whole nightmare will be over. That's all Supervisor Viktorov managed to write. Seems without a clear air supply, I'm afraid she wouldn't have lasted down there long. Or down there. Well, it seems excavation supervisor Viktorov and geochemist Fisher both met their ends down there. What a lonely place to die. Mr. Lumumba's audio file suggested he went down there as well, but apparently he isn't there. See if you can find out what happened to him. Take the pocket knife. Scratch of antique. Looks to be heavily modified. Consumer grade pocket knife. It could probably be used to pry something open. You know, I believed it belonged to Mr. Lumumba. Perhaps you mentioned it to him in the hollow stem chamber this evening. Good idea. An easy miss. Where the hell do I get the refuge station, okay. Huh. Is there another path I was supposed to go down? There must be. Okay, yeah, this one right here. Enter refuge station accessible. Good work. Using the knife, you pry open the door. Was a smart solution. You can enter now. That was all by luck. Oh, another audio file. That equipment contains the fragments of a data log. On the file number, it looks to be the third in the series. I'll read it. Quakes have stopped. This coffin has held steady. No, not a coffin. I'm getting out of here. Pierre, you idiot. you could find this, if you find this, if I don't make it out, I want you to know I'm not giving up. Energy, fuel, that's my specialty. And I've got an idea to help get somebody off this rock, at least. The rest of the log is just background noise. Then it ends. That seems to be the last part of this particular recording. Now, those data files suggested that Mr. Lumumba attempted to escape. I think he probably did. Looks like you're going to discover as much as you're going to down there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any fuel left for us to process. And now we're left with the mystery of what happened to Mr. Lumumba. But I don't want you to hang around those mines any longer. These are parts from one of the colony's drones, specifically energy core casings. Cores themselves are missing. A mystery. The only survivor a potential survivor. Everybody else that we encountered died in some fashion. And I'm not talking about like those two non-main characters. There's 4 specific ones. There was something entirely unwholesome about those caves. There was a moment I felt my communication link was getting weak. I must admit, I was worried. I didn't want you to lose focus or panic while you were down there, so I didn't say anything. In any case, you did great. Come back to base and I'll process what you found today. You can relax. Yeah, these 4 areas, or I guess not the 4, I don't know about this one, but that area, that area, that area, that area, are connected to like a specific individual that's going to help us escape. Like we already got somebody who does with communications and food processing, and this guy is fuel. And the next person is deals specifically with like the construction of our escape pod. That's one of the reasons why we're going around this place, is to kind of get more data and more ways to escape. A better chance to escape, I should say. That was a long day, wasn't it? Come see me right away so we can get your mission scans synced and sorted. Alright, let's do this. Okay, all that data you collected today is synced and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since you went to the caves, you'll be able to visit Mr. Lumumba in the holosim chamber tonight. You can retire to your quarters when you're ready. I'll call for you when the holosim chamber is available. Alright. The interesting part of the game. Chatting up with these people. Just unraveled sort of the mystery behind these people. And the events that occur at this space station. It's time. The holosim chamber is ready for you now. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. Yeah, it must suck to be stranded in a planet all by yourself. Stuck with the AI. I can't imagine. Now look at you. Yeah, it gave me a bit of info, but it's great to actually meet you. You did make it back from the caves. I'll take it. I take it. How did it go? It went great. Well, of course you'd say that. You have to. I don't blame you. With everything that's going on, keeping a good attitude is important. You know, I've been thinking, the AI has us all working to get that escape ship upgraded and get you both off this damn planet. And I can't shake that feeling like all of this could have been avoided. That you're going through this for no good reason. Sometimes, even now, I get preoccupied, thinking about old arguments or wondering what could have been done differently. Do you ever do that? Do you ever think about what might have been? Of course. It's always, you know. If you don't have any regrets in life, you probably never made, a super important decision. It's so hard, isn't it? When you just know you could have prevented something, when you could have done more. Now I know this too well, that the reason we're all in this situation, and I'm saying this as a hologram for Pete's sake, it's because of the Rift event. I want to know more about that. It's like so intriguing. Despite all of HC studies, decades of research, all our info, this planet just went and threw a wrench in everything. So many dead, senselessly so. We had this whole operation running like clockwork. Well, most of the time. But what we were doing was amazing. Of course, HC-247A isn't the first successful terraforming project, but we were supposed to be the largest, and the first with boots on soil from the get-go. Before we just had those orbital platforms slowly nuking the planet with greenhouse gases, and then other drones taking care of the rest. But it took decades, more than this project was supposed to take, and as you know, Earth wasn't in a state to wait that long. I don't know. What do you think? Did we do the right thing coming out here, starting this new project, risking everything? Oh shit. What dilemma. Absolutely. Well, he did say that Earth was dying, so Earth didn't have much longer, so it kind of makes, when you're put in that situation, it kind of makes it, this risk was something we kind of had to do. So I'm saying absolutely. I'd hoped you'd say that, if only to quiet my own worrying for a while. I mean, if HC didn't try to colonize so aggressively, you might not be here at all. When things were running more smoothly, I felt more alive than I ever did back on Earth. Finding those crystals was a huge breakthrough. Normally, projects like this have to haul all their fuel, and restocking is difficult. But a planet with a resource we could actually exploit changed everything. I was actually one of the first back home to see the delayed feeds from old probe drones, see the caves, the crystals, to get the sample results transmitted back to Earth. It was such a thrill to realize that we could harness them, process them, and keep the project running indefinitely. But the one bit of data that was harder to fathom was how unstable the crystals could be when exposed to certain conditions. Even with all our tests over the years, simulations could only show us so much, and our actual sample size was initially so very small. But those are risks, I suppose. I just wonder, if we had taken a little bit more time, could any of this have been avoided? Listen to me. I could turn this over and over in my head forever, and we just met. So Brian, let's focus on the present. You must have info you need, or else you wouldn't have come here. So what should we discuss? It's not your job for right now. Well, the AI probably told you I was the resource manager, but sure, I can explain it a bit better. I was the person responsible for mapping out how best to use the resources available to any given project, natural resources mostly. Some of the bean counters at HC thought I was like them, just a guy putting numbers in columns, making it all add up. But I never saw my job that way. I've always been an explorer. I like to find things. I like to mess around with them too. So figured out how to mine the crystals on this planet, turn them into fuel so we could be self-sufficient. That was a challenge, and a satisfying one. I had great staff, though. Wonderful people to work with. Even though I wasn't fond of having a desk job, they made it worthwhile. Then the Rift event affected everything. It put the whole project into chaos, and so many of those good people suffered. You were down there, weren't you? What did you find? Oh shit, bodies, data logs. Damn. Ooh. I don't know if I want to tell them about the bodies. I might. Yeah, shit. What do I tell them? Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with the data logs. Did you know? Well, these look to be for me, to Pierre. I don't sound very well. That doesn't give me confidence in what you'll find next time around. Ah, shit, I think I fucked up. I was like, shit. What else did you find? What else is on your mind tonight? Well, Albie. That does jog the memory. I can tell you more about where that came from. It was actually my brother who gave me that knife. Well, the first version of it. I think I've had it for over 20 years. When one of those tools broke, I'd find tutorials on how to fix or replace them. When I did so poorly, I cut myself and started taking it seriously. My brother said a tool like this was the best kind of friend. If you always kept it close, always looked after it, it would always be there for you. This sure does bring back some memories. Sometimes you think too much. You miss the easy solutions. Seeing this again, maybe helping you with the ship isn't as complicated as I thought. It's about making things simpler, not more convoluted. I think I have some ideas. Thank you, Brian, for bringing this to me. It's given me some inspiration. What else is on your mind tonight? My life? You mean before this planet? I guess I have a few adventures to tell. Why not? Before working with HC, I wasn't crazy about being in an office, you know. Even as a kid, I preferred being outside. There was a group of us, when I was younger, that used to host these challenges. They were like game shows, just for us. Each of us was active, outdoorsy, adventurous. With various talents, someone would set that month's challenge, and the rest would agree to meet it. Like the one time, Haley decided we'd have a hang gliding competition. None of us had done that before. We had 3 weeks to prepare. So we all joined classes or found someone to teach us, or taught each other. And then we met on these bluffs outside the city. The goal was to glide the furthest and land safely. Haley went first. That was the first rule. Whoever issued the challenge had to go first. Then we all went in turn. I'll be honest, I didn't prep as much as I should have. Things were difficult then. Too much time and too little responsibility. I was out having fun. So when I went, I made a big show of it, like I was going to convince everybody I was the most ready. But boy, I wasn't ready at all. Not by a long shot. Out of the 5 of us, I glided third farthest. But I also did so right into a old barn settlement. Broke my leg in 12 places. God damn. After that, well, I learned to take things a bit more seriously and to prepare. I bet. God damn, breaking your fucking leg. Listen, Brian, I don't know how much power the AI still has, or how much this visit is using, but just be sure we should probably say goodbye for now. Do me a favor though, won't you? Put my mind at ease. Try to find out what happened. I don't want to fade away, thinking we doomed ourselves from the start. Of course I will. I appreciate it. Hopefully when I see you again, the 4 of us will had made more progress, but until then, stay safe out there. Interesting. Very curious how this game's gonna end. It's looking like we're set to have a good, escape pod fixed. But I wonder what kind of choice at the end is gonna just throw a wrench into things. Whether I stay as a hologram with those people or actually leave on the ship. We'll see. Day 4. Punctual as always. I see. Well, if you're up to it, you've got one more area to visit today. I'm ready. I do appreciate your enthusiasm. You can come to the core for your mission when you're ready. Huh. That's an empty... Okay, I think it was the same as before. It's interesting that the computer did not say, things went super efficiently as it did with the last 2 people. As it said, it was able to process better. I wonder if I could have made better choices in my dialogue. Well, today should be an easy choice. There's only one area left to check for now. However, I've been picking up rumblings of another storm on its way. You can access your ship as usual in the South Shuttle Bay. Please do be careful out there. A storm is a brewing. That's not good. Definitely see that causing some problems. All mission complete. That's the last area, I suppose. Alright, let's do this. Well, we're finally here. Colony B. I haven't seen this facility since the Rift event blocked off all access. Only with the recent seismic activity has it been possible to come here again. And yet, I would very much prefer not to. Unfortunately, coming back is quite necessary. Today you will need to find 4 useful parts for the escape ship's thrusters. Please be careful. Enter Colony B. It's dark in there, isn't it? It will be difficult for you to find anything to scan like that. I imagine a lot of facility won't work without some backup power. Okay, so I gotta power up this area first. Locked, okay. Use maintenance hatch. Alright, let's... Locked, okay. Oh shit, somebody dead there already. Oh, that sucks. Like I said, this has to be like one of the worst ways to die. Just stuck in a isolated facility and just shit just goes fuck it. You know, shit just hits the fan. That's what I should have said. But yeah, terrible way to go. Looks like you found the problem in this area. There is power here, but this connection is loose. Are you going to reconnect the power? Of course. Anything I can look at, scan, inspect the power cable. Okay. Nothing else? No, that's my dog barking at. There's limited power in that area. Try looking around for now that you can see. He scanned the body of Facility Services Leon Robertson. It looks like he was crushed by debris. He likely died a merciful, quick death. Mr. Robertson supervised the day-to-day maintenance of Colony B under Chief William King. He probably had a tough time keeping that place running smoothly. Yeah, crushed to death. Jesus. Check the server rack. There's some data on the still functioning. That one looks like a master array, but it's inaccessible right now. You can find the access card that it requires. We can read some of the data there, perhaps uncover more of what happened. Good work. Your scan of that component will help us repair the escape ship's thrusters. Without this data, the thrusters wouldn't be able to hold a charge for long. Now we only need 3 more thruster parts, and we can get out of there. What the hell is this? That server rack has been completely eaten away and disabled by the elements, but it looks like someone was trying to modify it somehow. There's a busted portable generator and extra network equipment in that mess. Looks like someone was trying to send a signal. Alright. Head back to that door I couldn't access earlier. Wait, what's this? Rusted waste pile. Those tubes delivered waste materials that were to be repurposed for stored or for reuse in the future. Quite a bit never got recycled. Okay, let's head back. Oh, it's the light that's making that noise. I was like, what the hell is that? Okay. Locked, okay. Okay, unlocked, okay. There we go. Oh shit, more dead people. Looks like you scanned the broken remains of machine operator Centuali Terez. He and his teams maintained the drones. I believe he's been dead since 2058, likely due to the major seismic event that it created a rift that led to the collapse of Colony B. There's a single file on the data pad in his pocket. It seems to be a reference to Director Perry Tong. If you can pull a tiny bit of audio, I can pull a tiny bit of audio from it for you. Alright. Drone team's no longer functioning. Disorder is creeping in everywhere. We're trying so very hard, but without resources we can't get ahead. The chief is working to exhaustion, but he seems distracted by something. Worst of all is Tong abandoned us. Where did he go? Strange indeed. Looks like this part of the colony also is without power. Alright, let me go back here for a second. Let me check this area. Secondary storage. The storage area has almost completely been reduced to rubble. How terrible. You scan a part that we can use for reference in the shapeship's fuel line, so the thrusters don't run out of power. Excellent work. You only need 2 more parts. Take the access card, of course. It's a worn looking old server access card. Someone must have dropped it in all this chaos. Alright, so we can go back and check out what happened. Oh, that is truly awful. There are bodies underneath that rubble. I can't read their signatures or know who they are. This is terrible, Brian. I wish we didn't have to root through all this refuge and see all this. Yeah, that'd be pretty horrifying sight. Okay. Oh, no, fuck it. I don't actually want to go check out what that thing says. Okay. I want to just... Is that in here? No, it wasn't. That was in the other room. Okay, I wanted to see what that thing said. I didn't want to get stuck, not knowing everything. Okay, the server accepted the card access. There are details here that never got synced with me after the Rift event separated the 2 colonies. Oh no. These logs say that 14 colonists were killed on that day alone. I didn't know that. Project leader Perry Tong was there at the time. You would think with his charisma and position, he would have been able to maintain order. According to maintenance logs, the colony became impossible to maintain very quickly. Several mentioned that Mr. Tong was no longer present. I don't believe we can get any more useful information from that server. Wow. So that guy abandoned his people. I wonder why. It seems like a horrible... Well, I mean, it is a very horrible thing to do. Why would he do that? A mystery. Oh, there it is. Another switch. Just reconnect the power, yep. Nothing of use in here. So way down. Okay, that's locked. Okay, primary storage we go. You scan an elaborate set of schematics that somebody drew. It looks like they were drafted by hand, very skillfully too, I might add. It's difficult to ascertain what the schematics are for. They are incomplete and very complex. This is only half of this drawing. If I were to hazard a guess, I'd say that they pertain to this escape ship. However, if you can find the other half, this could be good news for us. That I will do. And this is it. Those overflow bins used to contain extra supplies and tools. They've been completely cleaned out, probably quite some time ago. Well, that don't make sense. Why would they be... Well, I mean, some tools... Well, no, like, tools like hammers and all that, you don't really... It wouldn't be gone. I mean, like, nails and stuff, yeah. In a place that was, like, falling apart based on what this game was saying. Huh, so where do I go from there? Any place that I missed? Huh. Let's see, an emergency lock has been engaged from within. If you can find something to remove the bolts at the bottom, you can bypass the lock. So I need some kind of like hammer or something. Or a screwdriver. Or something. Okay, I probably passed it up, maybe. In here? Yeah. More people buried within will likely never even be remembered. How tragic. Yep. Tragic indeed. What in the heck? Oh shoot, I didn't even forgot about this place. Let's see, what else is down here? Electrical room, we'll go in this room first. Maintenance workroom. Take the spanner. Good idea, you're gonna take that rusted old spanner? Of course. Must have belonged to Mr. Robertson. Not to be unkind, but he doesn't need it anymore. Hopefully it will help you along the way. Yes, it will. That is an immaculately drafted set of schematics. It appears to match the other set you found. There are notes regarding thrusters and field conservation. The draftsmanship really is top-notch. It was probably made with just a pencil and a simple straight edge. Even the circular lines are near perfect. Whoever made this is quite skilled. Sometimes human precision and ability really impress me. When you visit Mr. Tong in the Hollow Sim Chamber, I suggest you ask him about these. Perhaps he can help explain them to us. Yes, that's a good idea. The shelves have been completely picked clean. It's possible that with no outside access, the colonists ran out of supplies long ago. Yep. Definitely. Oh my gosh, another dead guy. Oh my. Those blackened remains belong to mechanical engineer Sasha Kaminsky, if your scan is correct. Mrs. Kaminsky was an excellent engineer, though her records mention several minor accounts of insubordination towards maintenance chief William King. She must have got caught in several electrical currents when the room was destroyed. What a terrible waste of a good mind. Oh, hold up, my dogs are barking at something outside. Let me deal with them for a second. Be right back. Oh, okay, I'm back. Damn dog barking at like a cat like 2 blocks away. Oh, I was right. You can't yeah, dangerous. Okay. Alright, so let's... We should be able to get into that other room now. With that wrench. Let's see if the spanner you found will work on that door. Yes, it does. Who's this? Body of William King. I'm sorry to say that you scanned the body of maintenance chief William King. Judging by the remains, he sustained several life-threatening injuries. However, the position of the body suggests that somehow he brought himself to that room despite his condition. He must have really wanted to accomplish something. Besides Mr. King, there is a small children's book. Its cover depicts an idyllic farm scene in watercolor. In the scene, a girl with reddish hair is surrounded by several animals. A goat, a pig, a sheep are lying down, as if they're sleeping. Okay, it's just talking about the book again. Wait a minute. Oh hell, it's a damn what puzzle. Okay. A goat, pig, and a sheep. So A-I-E? Those are the only letters that... Oh no, there's no fucking... There's no I here. Wait a minute. Okay. So I'm getting... Seems a reddish hair surrounded by several animals. A goat, a pig, and a sheep. As if they're sleeping. So turn them... So I guess A and... Oh, sure, okay, wait a minute. The server rack has a small LED readout that depicts a sort of stylized goat. Do you want to put the server sleep mode? Yeah. So I just guess I gotta just go by the animal icons on there. A lazy buffalo, nope. Peacock, nope. A lazy pig, yes. Bleeding sheep, yes. Do you hear that? Sounds like a modified distress signal from William King. Short and set to repeat. It's difficult to make out, so I'll read it to you. 2W. Things are bad here. I'm afraid not much time now. Hoping you this over there. Oxygen is low. You're smart. Strong. You were right to leave. Tong is something new. But it's too late. Too much is compromised. Goodbye, W. I'm afraid the transmitting cuts off there, and only sounds of rumbling and shouting can be heard. What an unfortunate end to Mr. King. He appears to have used his last moments to contact someone. I wonder if he was successful. O'Brien, take a look. I think that server rack on the south end of the room is now open. Alright. So basically what that message is telling me is that the first person we chatted with was Winnie Laurie. I believe that's what her name was. So I'm assuming that message was to her because when I was going through her stuff, she had an infatuation with Mr. William King. So I can only imagine that they were probably, doing stuff. That 3D stabilization system gives me the reference I need to construct something similar for our ship. It will help keep the thruster steady. Now we only need one more thruster part, and you can get out of there. Okay, nice. Okay, I thought I was going to say something new. Alright, so now we should be able to get past the electric stuff, I hope. Maybe? Unless I gotta turn off the electricity. Unless that's what I have to do. Maybe that's what I have to do. Yeah, I think I have to turn off the electricity in all the places. Ah, shit. Where is it? Okay. Well, it's not letting me, so I have to do something else. There's something else in that room, maybe? Oh, god damn it. The control panel comes to the power grid. Do you want to shut it down? Yes. It was that simple. Holy hell, I feel dumb. Okay, maybe I have to come around. Is this... Oh, what did I do here? Oh, I had to just... sneak on by. Okay. There we go. It is fortunate for us that the colonists found no need for this scrapped motor. Its data can be used for the ship's thrusters. Okay, you successfully found everything you need for today. Please let's not stick around any longer than we have to. You should come home. So 2 possible survivors other than myself are Mr. Lumumba and Pierre Tong. Those 2 people are still potentially potentially out there somewhere. I fear that was not the worst of it. There was so much damage and death, but we need to get working on those stressors. They'll come back right away. And we'll talk to our last and final hologram person. Excellent work, Brian. You've been successful at every mission so far. This is really going to help us. Come seize me as usual so I can process the findings. Now, that's still trippy to think about, If you were to have a hologram that was like an exact replica of you, would it be real or not? Could you even tell and all that kind of shit? That's crazy. Crazy to consider. Brian, do you hear the storm outside? I hear it. I thought you might. Wind has really picked up and it's getting increasingly hostile out there. The weakening of the planet has caused a violent new storm system to come our way. This wind is just the beginning. You should still be able to have one of your extracurricular meetings. But if I believe your safety is compromised, I'll have to shut things down. Since you went to Colony B, you'll be able to visit Mr. Tong in the Hollow Sim Chamber tonight. Wait, no, Pierre Tong? Oh, William King. Okay, I'm sorry. William King is, okay, yeah, William King was dead. Pierre Tong still might be alive somewhere. Those last two men might be alive. Be mindful this evening. I would hate to see our last remaining home... Wait, what? I would hate to see our last remaining home damaged to the way Colony B was. It kind of sounded weird. But... last remaining way home, I think is what it meant. Alright. Let's do this. Let's talk to that man Pierre Tong. Brian, please wake up. You may not have much time tonight. I was hesitant to let you go into the chamber, but the storm has calmed a bit, and I didn't want you to miss out. I know how much these visits mean to the holograms, so as long as you don't take too long, you should be okay. When you're ready, when your meeting is over tonight, please head straight to your quarters. I fear the storm may get worse any minute. Stay safe tonight, Brian. What was over here? I don't even remember. The ship hangar. I guess that's when we about to leave. Alright, let's do this. Well, hey there. Brian, is it? AF4B3B told me all about you and your visit to Colony B today. How are you holding up? Glad to be back. Glad I'm back. Well, thanks. Glad I'm back. Me too. It's nice to finally meet you. I've been working away here in my little simulated office. Listen, I hope you can help me out. As I work in here, I realize I may have so many gaps in my memory, and it's frustrating. You probably know that at some point, the real me left Colony B. After that, the AI couldn't keep an updated image of me, so I don't know what I did. I'm worried about what happened. I mean, did I abandon everyone? It's all I can think about, so please, what did you see out there today? Shit, how do I answer? I would go with destruction. That is awful. The Rift event disrupted most of our facilities all at once. It was a huge struggle to keep things running. We lost dozens of drones and, well, more than a few workers. Good people, too. Engineers and supervisors had to step in to fill the gaps. There was only so much I could do, you know. I thought people would be able to pick themselves up, move on to stay alive, but not everyone could. Especially me. I was very close to the resource manager, Gene Lunumba, back then. But the destruction affected even our relationship. We had very differing opinions on how to deal with things, you know. And I think our fight is probably a big reason I took off. Let's see, what fight, new subject? I guess we gotta tackle that subject head on. I'm sorry. We are both very stubborn. I don't know how we ever got along in the first place, being so pig-headed. But that's not an excuse. What else did you see out there today? Oh hell, did I miss some shit? Oh man, don't tell me I missed. God, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. God damn it. Damn it. I remember what happened when the Rift event killed so many people. We were all shocked. I took it badly. I know that. I had drones working to recover bodies for a while. We couldn't really spare the resources, but I think what people wanted that closure. I just don't think I wanted to see them. Everybody we found was like a personal failure. Without our connections to AF, 4B, 3B, we couldn't communicate with your facility. We started to feel hopeless. I could tell some of the workers started to think differently about me then. I was stressed, overworked, but I guess we all were. The place was chaos. It was around that night when I started to feel that perhaps I wasn't as well equipped for the job as I thought. What else did you see out there? Please, the AI seems reluctant to talk about it. I can't get answers. I just want to know what happened after I left. See, didn't I find the schematics? Wasn't that, you know... Yeah, 'cause I remember I did find the schematics. Dealing with the deceased and wounded put enough strain on our resources as it was. But our connection to AF, 4B, 3B was cut as well. That meant we had no contact with Colony A, your facility, and after a long while, without outside contact, things were dire. I recall sitting in my office one night, the real version of this simulated room. I was completely defeated. I was supposed to be the director, you know. I had to get it together, put on a good face, but I carried on as best I could. Being the person that everyone is counting on isn't easy, is it? I mean, you know this now. You're all that's left of this mess. But I'm beginning to see that you're the kind of person who can deal with stress, which is actually kind of comforting. But what if you weren't dealing with all this? Say back on Earth, any hobbies, personal likes? I'll go with reading. Big reader, are you? It was one of the best ideas we had for the project. Stocking a network with thousands and thousands of digital books. Listen, I know our time here is limited. It's been going on and on. You've come in here to spend time. It means a lot to me. And I appreciate you listening. But there is something that I can actually help you with. Anything you want us to know more about. We'll keep them up with the schematics. What are these schematics? I seem to recall something I was working on, but not clearly. Let's see. These are definitely mine, but if I had access to network systems, I would have used them. Why would I have hand-drawn these? Unless I may have drawn these up after the Rift event. They look like they're for a new way to reduce fuel usage and the thrusters for takeoff. I'd like to believe I was still trying to help out the survivors. I don't want to think that I just gave up on them. More importantly though, you might be able to use these yourself. If you find any more schematics like these, please bring them to me. What else can we discuss? Escape ship. You're very focused. I'll give you that, sure. I can tell you a little more about the ship. There are only 2 ships in the project, one in each colony. We couldn't bring more with us. They were complex, delicate, and cumbersome. When the Rift event tore our colony apart, the first thing I checked was the escape ship. It was a complete loss. I was horrified. Some of the colonists thought we should be putting resources and drones towards building more escape ships after we were up and running smoothly. I could understand that, but we couldn't afford it. It took everything just to process the planet's resources and run the terraforming operation. The escape ships weren't meant as large-scale lifeboats. They could only fit a few people. That's more than enough for you and the AI. You're going to succeed, Brian. I just know it. And I promise you, I'll do everything I can to help. What else can we discuss? Well, the AI. It's asleep now, isn't it? I almost feel bad talking about it behind its back, but I can tell you more, sure. I didn't design the AI. That was another engineer back on Earth. But I sure came to enjoy its company and the insights. Once we arrived here, the neat thing about AF4B3B is that it's so powerful. Given the resources, it can be paying attention to almost everyone on the colony at once. It's like everyone had a friend at their side. Though I guess not. Everyone saw it that way. Some colonists never gelled with the AI. I think part of the reason was that we didn't give it a more human name. It ended up being less relatable than HC hoped. Come to think of it, I can't even remember what its names mean anymore. Most people just gave it their own nickname, and it didn't seem to mind. We're all stuck in here. Just having the AI with you out there must be some comfort. At least, the companionship is important. Well, listen, it's late. You shouldn't eat up too many of the facility cycles on this visit. You need to get back out there tomorrow. Brian, thank you for stopping by. Hope I'm able to provide some insight into what happened. You can, though. You must have tried to help people out. I have to believe that if you find any more schematics, proof that I've tried to help, please let me know. I will. That's what I like to hear. Until next time, I'll be waiting. Alright, let's quickly get to our chamber. Like I said, I'm feeling good that we might escape off this planet. But I'm still expecting a twist ending. Day 6 right now. Day 5, okay. I'm off by a day. Brian, wake up. I hate to be the bearer of bad news so early, but it appears we have a problem. What's up? The storm I mentioned moved in very quickly and violently. While you were sleeping, it passed directly through here. The colony suffered some damage. You probably heard quite a ding. What? Quite a din? Colony A is mostly intact, but it was a close call. I'm afraid you won't be able to set out anywhere today. It's just too dangerous here. Too dangerous outside, and I need your help here. We need to make sure our equipment is still operational. Please come with me. As you can see, the place is a real mess. You're lucky that your room was unscathed. In any case, I'm going to lock the ship's hangar. I need you to go and make sure the ship is okay. Oh shit. Don't tell me the ship is broken. The hangar doesn't seem too bad. I hope the ship is alright. Where am I going? The thruster casings appear to be intact. The booster shell looks undisturbed as well. I don't detect any loose components. Oh. That's good. The escape ship appears to be okay. That's such a relief. Next, let's make sure the shuttle is still functioning. Leave the hangar, go south, and inspect the shuttle. Okay, that's good. At least our ship is, our escape ship is still good. Check for damage. Okay, let's see what we have here. Nothing impacted. The shuttle itself and the bay looks unharmed. Great, okay. The shuttle is still functional. We can send you out on missions again later. Now let's just confirm that the holosim chamber hasn't taken any damage. Head there. Okay, yeah, I know where it is. Yep. Well, it's still in standby mode. My own connection suggests no degradation or loss of data. Everything else checks out too. That's a relief. We managed to make it through this quite unscathed. You should be thankful. Still, the storm is out there. We can't go anywhere today. You might as well head back to your quarters. Alright, I'll do just that. Wait for day 6. Brian, are you okay? I have some news for you. You must have been exhausted. You fell asleep and been here all day. I'm sure you needed it, so I didn't bother you. I completed all my internal system checks. Thankfully, the colony is intact for now. You should be able to get you out there again tomorrow. But I know today has been a particularly stressful day. And, well, I was hoping to do this another time, but considering today's events, I just couldn't wait. For what? For my surprise, of course. And since you couldn't go out today, what a better time. You see, I noticed how much more at ease you've been since getting to spend time with the hologram recreations. And to be honest, they also seem to benefit from the interactions you've been having, even though they're merely simulations. So I've prepared a special program for you inside the holosim chamber, something purely extracurricular. Thank you. You're very welcome, Brian. I thought you deserved a little time off. With whom would you like to spend time in the holosim chamber tonight? let's go back to Weird John. Let's go with Winnie. Okay, I'll talk to Winnie and make sure she's available. I'm sure she's looking forward to it. I guess this is the romance part of the game. I'm loving this, like this, the survival aspect of it. I have to enter low power mode so you can use the chamber, of course. So I'll speak to you again this morning. Have fun in there, Brian. Hope you do enjoy this a little bit of downtime. Okay. I'm enjoying the story so far as the, the sci-fi horror survival going on right now with the whole colony being basically destroyed. This part might be a little interesting. Isn't it beautiful? This is a recreation of the Aurora Borealis from the Northern Hemisphere back home. The Northern Lights. The AI must have found this one in one of the Holocene relaxation archives. I think it was one of the programs used to help us adjust to colony life. What do you think of it? It's great. Why do you think so? When you're cooped up in the colony, being able to look at such a wonderful, vast sight really is a treat. The neat thing about the lights is that they're just a happy accident. Gas particles from Earth mix with charged particles from the Sun, and voila! It looks like somebody created the most beautiful painting by spilling something, I think that's what it makes this so wonderful. Anyways, I could go on and on. We have some time now, just to ourselves. I don't want to spoil it. What's on your mind? I'm worried. You tell me. How are you? I don't know. You just go, how are you? Oh, well, I guess I'm okay. All things considered, the AI has kept me busy, so this little break is certainly nice. To be honest, I've been thinking a lot. I mean, more than usual. I know, I asked you to help me try to understand what happened to me. And I still want to know. But I guess the more time I spend in here, the less it seems to matter. I realize that as much as I want to fill in those memories I don't have, well, I like the fact that I'm making new memories too. And I know that you have a job to do. I'm here to help you succeed and to survive. But after we met last time, I couldn't help but think, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's nice to spend some time like this. I'm glad. Yeah. Well, did I fuck up? What? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Well, yeah, there is one thing. Listen, I'm sorry to ask this, but Dia told me you finding William, over in Colony B. Yes? Well, I wanted to ask you about that. William, he was pretty special, and it's just that hearing about his death was pretty hard to take. We kept in touch when we could, I guess. We kind of had an understanding. I found it easier to talk to him than some of the other colonists. It was hard to make friends, and sometimes, and he was such a good listener, kind of like you, I guess. But you know, he had his wife back on Earth, remember? And so, I mean, I couldn't. We just, we were just friends. I guess, I guess I just wanted to know what you found. I mean, yeah, I did say he had been trying to send a message. Did he, did he say anything? Do I tell her or not? Because if I, see, that AI robot said, if I mess with their memories, you know, if I try to fill in their gaps, they might go haywire and end up fucking shit up. Just because they're like computer simulations. But at the same time, these AI people and these hologram simulations are kind of like real people in a sense that they're able to actually think and exist in some kind of weird way. This game definitely is begging for another playthrough of just trying to see what might be different based on different choices. So I'm gonna go with revealing the information. He loved you. Oh, O'Brien. I'm sorry to make you tell me, but it means so much to hear that. Thank you. I just felt that without that closure, I would just be distracted, you know. I'd always be wondering about it. I think I knew deep down, but I'm glad to hear it from you. Okay, let's stay focused. There's no sense in dwelling on things like this anymore. We're here now, and you're what's important. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? I'm worried. You are? You mean about getting off the planet? We can talk about that if you like. I mean, if it will help. What are you worried about most? Surviving, escaping, or being alone? I think being alone would probably be... Yeah, I think being alone would probably be like the worst thing, you know, because you're going to be in a spaceship by yourself, because kind of like, you know, until somebody rescues you. Escaping and surviving, they're just either happen or they don't. Oh, is that what's making this endeavor difficult so far? The feeling of loneliness? I can tell you, it's one of those things. Sometimes you're okay with it, sometimes you're not. It's hard to control, you know, and everyone is different. For example, some of the other crew, they could go weeks, it seemed, without ever talking to anyone. Some people are just comfortable, I guess. They're okay with that. That's right. Fuck, I forgot that she's one of those loner people, based on all the information I found on her. But what about you? Do you like being alone? Sometimes. I think I'm the same. Although now, well, I like the company a lot more, I guess. You know, these simulations, I mean, this is so beautiful. But haven't you noticed it's not even cold? I guess when these programs were designed, they weren't meant to be completely realistic. If you ended up cold or uncomfortable, why would you use it? Still, I feel that it's sort of part of the package. They are the northern lights after all, and it's meant to be quite cold out here. I do have one more other thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, I prepared this special simulation tonight, and, well, it's beautiful, of course. I guess I just wanted to know, you could have chosen anyone tonight, right? And, well, let me. Um, hmm. I'll just fucking say this. I see. It's like, I see. I see. Thank you for saying so. I like spending time with you too. The fucking romance part of the game. It's like I could kind of do without it, but it's part of the package game, so we just gotta trudge along. Well, Brian, I hate to admit it, but I guess I should let you get to sleep. There is still a long journey ahead of you. Thanks for coming to visit, and well, thanks for talking to me about William. Till next time, I guess. Please be careful out there. I hope so. I'll do my best in here. Take care for now. Holy hell, man. This game is way longer than I realized. It's like, alright. Yeah. I thought I was going to be able to do this stream in like one go, but I'll probably have to pick it up later. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to pick it up later. I'll just continue this till the next day, then I'll end it in a bit. Day 6. Brian, what do you think of that special simulation last night? It was great. It's wonderful to hear. I thought you could pick me up after the stress of last week. In any case, a week has already passed. As the increasing storm activity has shown, our situation remains difficult. We still have a lot of work to do. Come and see me in the core when we get started once again. Alright guys, I'm going to end this stream here. This game is a little bit longer than I anticipated. It's not like the other Benjamin Rivers game, Home, where you can kind of do it in like under 2 hours. Alright, so I'm going to end this here. Alright, so I should be save let me in progress. Okay. So I just want to test out, see where I'm gonna end up in the next one before I call it. Okay. Continue. That sure as hell ain't starting over. That's way too much progress to start over. Okay. Okay, started right here. That's good. Alright. Alright, guys. Until next time, y'all take care. I look forward to beating the rest of this game. Alright, you guys take care.